Okay, so last week what we did was we downloaded these stems and we imported them into Pro Tools. And we did some housekeeping tasks, important being one of them, making sure we copy the audio to the correct folder being another. And then inside our session we created markers that we can navigate to. What's the shortcut again to navigate to your marker? Sorry. Exactly. Dot one, dot number dot. Okay, cool. Just got a sort of collection of voices there and I couldn't pick out one particular thing. So, if you double click on your marker, it tells you what number it is. Number 2 in here. So if I want to navigate to that, back to the start of the vocals, I just go dot to dot on my little number pad. If I don't have this number pad on my Mac, on your keyboard, you can bring up the memory locations window. See? Just bring all this in so it fits into this window. Okay. Okay, it seems to have disappeared. When you do that, Apple 5, it will bring up your memory locations. It's a wee floating box. It's got all your markers in it and you just click on them to get to them quite quickly. Okay, I think I moved it away last week, so it's disappeared for the time being. Also as well, when I change the resolution so it looks like that up on the screen, my windows go a bit chaotic here. So just trust me. Alright. We also set up groups. So we set up a rhythm group, guitar group, vocal group and a synth group as well, and that allows me then to group my like instruments together. So a rhythm section. Okay, I've got my synths in here as well. Okay, I've kept the arpeggiator separate because I don't want that in that group, and I created a little group for my guitars which come in a wee bit later on. Okay, and my vocals as well. So in the vocals we've got the main vocal and then we've got backing vocals as well. Okay, and if you want to get your groups off, you just click on them here until they're not greyed out anymore, and then you've got independent control over it again. Or if you're in your mix window with the faders, you can use your shortcuts A, B, C and D to toggle the groups on and off as you feel fit. Okay, but in the edit window, those keys A, B, C, D, etc. all have a different function. Alright, so pressing A in here won't turn your group on or off. Alright, so that's pretty much what we got to. Then we did some mixing stuff. So we basically took the drums out, take my group off here, and we created a little drum duck channel, and in that we compressed it, saturated it with some harmonic distortion, and EQ'd it as well to lift the bottom end. Again, however, and the high end as well, of course. However you guys want to do that, and there's your shout, okay? I just went quickly for a sort of filthy sound, so I put the compression on it to begin with, so that any EQ and saturation I was doing afterwards was playing on the compressor. As me and Thomas were talking about last week, we were discussing where the change should be, you know, does it matter, and it is important. It's a lovely wee sound. Basically I always up my compression last, so EQs and stuff will get done first, and then controlling the dynamics of the compressor is my last part of the chain. But I was shaking up a wee bit in here, so I used that a wee bit differently. Okay, then we fattened up the bass. We put EQ, compressor and a wee bit of saturation on it. Quite you. Okay. Okay, without, then with. Okay, just far, pH far, alright. And that's pretty much where we got to. What I want to look at today is something that a lot of people are confused about, alright, and it's busing, okay, and routing signals inside Pro Tools to somewhere else to do different things. We're going to create 4 buses today, and they're all going to do slightly different things. Okay, we're going to have 2 effects buses. These are going to be stereo. One's going to be reverb, and one's going to be delay. And what we're going to do with those effect buses is have two independent channels, each with one with reverb and one with delay. We're going to send stuff to those channels and apply that effect to it. So we'll still have the raw vocal channel or the raw guitar channel, but what we'll also have is a little bit of it being sent to a reverb sound and a delayed sound as well. We're then going to create a width bus for the lead guitar because it's a wee bit thin and it's pushed over to one side and it just kind of sounds a bit lifeless. So what we're going to do is create a width bus, which is going to allow me to keep my original guitar in the right hand channel, but I'm also going to send it to a little mono bus as well on the left hand side with a little delay on it. So it's going to go here first and then slightly later. But the delay is not going to be long enough for me to hear it ping ponging. It's not going to go right left. It's just going to have a nice blend because the delay is so short that the brain will not be able to hear it as a distinct echo. Okay? And we'll be talking about this next year in acoustics. It's called an echo threshold. It's why in a room that's small like this, when I'm talking, you're getting the direct sound from me. You're also getting the early reflections from the wall. They're all arriving before this echo threshold of about 35 milliseconds. And if it arrives after that, then we hear it as a hello, okay, a wee delay. But if it arrives before, it actually strengthens the original sound. So I'm still able to keep the guitar out in the right and perceive it and localise it to the right, but I'm getting a lot of it in the left-hand channel as well, and it's going to thicken it and widen it out. So we're going to use a mono bus for that, and that'll be on the guitar lead. And the last thing I'm going to do is a vocal thickener. This will be similar to what we did with the drums. Okay, we blend it in with the original drum sound in order to thicken it out a little bit. Okay, so we use that'll be mono as well. So what do we use for our bus tracks in Pro Tools? What kind of track is it? A channel. Excellent. Aux input or auxiliary input. Okay. There is no record enable on this track because you can't record audio to it. It's simply there to allow you to route audio to it and send it elsewhere. In this case, we're routing audio to it, processing it, and then sending it out to our headphones. Okay, so it's all relatively straightforward. You just have to get into the process of following the steps correctly. If you try to jump forward, you start to get confused. Okay, but there's three parts of the channel that we're really focusing on here. We've got our sends, which tap off a bit of the signal and send it elsewhere. So if I've got my audio in here, as my audio channel, like a mixing console, you've got your microphone plugged in at the top. I've then got all my inserts here, processing it, so I've got a bit of EQ, whatever, reverb, whatever you're putting on it, okay? And then down here it gets to my fader, where I can balance it off, turn it up and down, and that sends a portion of the signal to my headphones. So if it's way down at infinity, it's sending nothing. If it's way up at plus 12, it's sending its maximum. Before it gets to that stage, I just tap off a wee bit of the signal. Okay, doesn't take any away from this actual signal. It just duplicates a wee version of the signal and puts on another little fader. And then how much that fader is up or down is determining how much of that signal I'm sending to wherever I'm sending it. So just imagine it streams of water coming down. Okay, what we're doing is tapping off a bit of the water, taking it into a wee field, and put the water. Alright. My analogy kind of broke down there, but that's pretty much what we're doing. Okay, we can tap off the water, we can put colouring in it, we can do loads of stuff to it without affecting that main stream that's going down. Okay, and that's what we're doing with auxiliary. We are tapping off a wee bit of the signal. So that's what our sends are doing. We're taking this signal and sending it out somewhere else. The other two important points is going to be, of course, what insert we're putting on the channel and the input for the bus as well. Okay, so we need to send a signal to an input somewhere else, and it creates, if you think about behind this computer screen, there's a wee cable and it's connecting these tracks together. Okay, the Pro Tools borrows heavily from the old analog way of working, and this is why one of the main reasons we choose to teach it here, because this will allow you to go into most analog studios and start to route things correctly as well. Okay, so I'm going to create two new stereo auxiliary inputs. Remember, command and the arrows will allow you to change the track types in here, and click create, and I'll move them right to the end of my session. for my master. Okay, so I'll call this verb, command and arrow across to the next one, and I'll call this delay. Okay, so what type of effect do you think I'm going to put on verb? Yes, reverb. So I insert reverb here. We're off to a flying start this morning, guys. I'm going to use good old deverb. I'm going to make sure that the mix is at 100%, so it's 100% wet. If it's not up there, then my bus, there's no point having a bus that's an effects bus and you're only running 30% of it wet, because that means the other 70% is the dry signal you've already got in this fader here, wherever you're sending it from. Okay, and what do you think I put in the delay? Just put pitch shift on it or something. Probably not. Alright, so I'll go for this multi-delay guy. Okay, singing and dancing. Okay, and always make sure that your mix is at 100%. Alrighty, for both of these. So, I now have two buses set up, and what I want to do is start sending some signals to it. So I'm going to pick my vocal channel, and I'm going to send it to my reverb. In my input section here, I need to create a free bus. So I just click on the input, go to bus menu, and find a free bus in here. If it's white, then it's free to go. Okay. The orange or yellow one here is one that I've already created and renamed. So I click on 5 and 6, and then I right click on this, and I'm going to call it verb send. Okay. So now I want to send a bit of this signal to my reverb channel. Anybody got an idea on how I do that? Beautiful. Go to send and select the bus that I've set up. Okay. Go to bus menu. Well, there it is. Verb send stereo. Lovely. So I click on that, and here's this wee fader I was talking about. Okay. This is the tapped out signal, so whatever this fader is at is how much of that signal I am sending to my reverb. If I just get to a bit where it's just the vocals and I solo them. Okay, let me take this group off actually, so that I can just solo one at a time. So it's group C, so I just hit C to disable it. Give it a listen.
Oh honey, it's alright, but it's how I get through.
Okay, so keep your eye on this channel here. As I bring this fader up, it's going to send a signal in here. I'm going to see it. I'm not going to hear it yet, but I'm going to see it.
Oh honey, it's alright, but it's how I get through. This is where my heart begins.
There's the signal.
Just waiting for my head to stop.
Okay, and if I solo the reverb as well.
But I can't find the words apart. Well, I've known it from the start. Let it break my heart.
Okay, so that's how I'm sending that signal to my reverb. That's obviously cranked in there. Let me just bring it back down. So I've got this little send in here. It looks like an insert, but it's doing something totally different. Okay, it's sending portions of that signal. But I think I don't like having that little kind of view, that little insert sort of thing there with that send. So what I'm going to do is go to view, go to expanded sends, and if I go to send A, which this is on, it now gives me my little fader in line with the channel, and it allows me to make the changes here rather than here. Okay, so however you want to do it, I understand that, it's up to you, but that's my way of doing it. And I like to use pre-fader as well, but this is my choice. Okay, pre-fader means that regardless of what level this is at, it's always going to send the same amount to this particular fader. So if I show you an example of that, with this not on,
This is where my heart begins.
turn this up,
Just waiting for my head.
I'm getting that signal in there. With pre-fader, look at the signal level change, okay?
This is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to stop.
Okay, because it no longer cares what level this signal is at by the fader here. It's now concentrating on just this level here. So I like to have that so I can do my own mix set to my buses independent of making any changes here and affecting what I'm sending to my reverbs. or any other bus. Okay, so let me blend that in and have a wee look at my reverb till I get something I like. Track's quite quick, so I don't want a reverb that's hanging out there forever. Alright, I'm going to try and pull it down, get some control over it. I'm going to use a wee plate reverb and play a bit of it.
This is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to stop.
It's quite nice.
But I can't find the words to part.
Okay, and a low pass filter, what frequencies does that allow me to get rid of? High skid, okay. Just I was thinking, a high pass filter is for low frequencies, low pass filter for cutting away high frequencies and edging them down. Okay, it's going to take the edge off this reverb, so every time it goes, you're getting that shimmer through the reverbs. I'm going to try and attenuate that. Okay, so next
This
step.
is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to stop.
Cool, much nicer.
But I can't find the words to part. Well, I've known it from the start. Let it break my heart. This is where my heart begins.
Okay, and then blend it in.
Just waiting for my head to stop.
Try and keep your reverb bus at 0, okay, and just move your faders and the sends till you get something you like.
I've known it from the start. Let it break my heart. This is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to stop.
Cool.
But I can't find the words to part. Well, I've known it from the start. Let it break my heart.
Alright, cool. And what do I put on the reverb channel to allow me, I don't need to solo it every time to hear it. Solo safe, and how do I do that? Excellent command. It's guys in the second year HND still can't do it that right. Excellent guys. Command and click, and that then fades it out, and therefore I don't need to hit solo and solo every time to hear both of those channels. I just need to solo it when I want to hear. Okay.
This is where my heart begins.
Sweet, okay, so I'm now going to send a wee bit of it to the delay channel as well. So I'm going to put it down on send B. So I can send as many, up to 10 sends here, it's probably more than you'd ever need, from this one channel and somewhere else. So in here I'm going to go to my bus and find a free bus, 7 and 8, which I'm going to call this. Sending it to the delay. Delay send, good. Okay. Delay, send. So I did this other way about now. So in here, I just go to my delay bus, with the delay on it, go to my bus input, and there we go, delay, send. Okay. Pre-fader. Again, I wanted to look at this inline my channel, so I go to view, expanded sends, send B, and I have both of these. I'm going to importantly make this pre-fade as well. So I'm just going to solo this and play about with it. This will sound a bit funky until I get in and look at my delays in detail, but just so you can hear it happening, I'll crank it and it will sound bizarre. Alright, so this is where his heart begins as he moves into a new dimension. So obviously I've got about 1 million delays going on there, okay? They're stretched over half a bar, 8 out of 16. Alright, this took me a while to get my head around, so I'm not expecting it kind of day one for you to get it. But just put your delay right up, okay? That means you've got a full bar of delay to exist within, okay? So if you keep it in an 8, then it's basically a half bar because it's an 8 of 16s. And you're able to have 16 taps in here. So, I can tap, I take all these taps off. These are taps off. A tap is basically one delay, okay? So if I've got 5 taps, then I have 5 delays happening. And I can pick what time each of those delays occurs within the bar that I'm playing with. So if I just go to tap 5, which is 16th, that's going to be a full bar of delay. And it's up pretty loud, so I'll put this one on and give it a listen, see how it sounds.
This is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head, waiting for my head.
Take off from you, it does help. I think it's still. Here we go.
This is where my heart begins. This is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to stop. Just waiting for my head to stop. But I can't find the words to part. But I can't find the words to part.
Okay, and then we start getting a bit of overlap. Okay, now feedback is how many times that tap, which is one bar later, is going to repeat. So feedback's at 10%, and it's one delay, 20% two delays, 30% three delays, 40% four, etc., etc., etc. What's that? Aye, that's what your feedback's doing. So if you go to 15, you're getting one, but you're also getting a wee half delay coming in, and it's basically how loud you're hearing it, those taps, okay? So I've got one at the full bar, and I'll go to tap 3, and I'll bring it down to 8. Excuse me. Which is now a half bar. And if I bring that in now, I should be getting that delay at each half bar as well.
This is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to start. I can't find the word.
Okay.
I can't find the word.
So we've also got levels and panning here. I'm very, very dubious about delays that go ping pong from hard left to hard right, especially with vocals, unless you're doing something very, very pastiche, something that you want to sound exactly like that. So I'm going to bring my pans in just a little bit, and just to take the edge off these delays, I'm just going to bring the levels right down, so that they're there, but they're not really there. Okay, let's just give it a listen till I get something that I quite like.
This is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to start. But I can't find the words to part. Well, I've known it from the start.
Okay, so some things will work, some won't. What you need to be getting the discipline of doing is automating your delays, like muting things and it's too much, or dragging things out if it don't work. Then you can also have things like a slap echo, okay, which is just like alright, something's dead quick. So we can use that in here. Let's put that in the vocals. So this first delay I'm going to bring down to a 16th, okay, so it's really quick on it, and it should just give the effect of it being in a sort of a classic sort of rockabilly sound in the vocals, or a kind of sound that you're in a very small sort of titled sort of room, like a bathroom or something like that.
This is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to stop. But I can't.
Okay, but it's a bit severe, so I'm going to bring the level down. Give it a listen.
This is where my heart begins.
Okay, it just gives it that wee bit of presence.
Just waiting for my head to stop. But I can't find the words to part.
Okay,
Well, I've
pretty cool.
known it from the start.
If I bring my feet, oh my goodness. So if I bring my feedback up, then I can create interesting effects with that particular slap echo. On and on and on. Let's try that.
This is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to stop. But I can't find the words to part. Well, I've known it from the start.
Okay, so it's starting to get a wee bit confused down there. Bit too much, okay. However you want to do it. I'm going to keep it down at about 20%, and I'm only going to bring in the full bar after it, and keep the level down. Okay, you might want to do it differently, it's up to yourself. All I'm doing is showing you how to do this, okay? And then now that I've got them set up, I quite like them, I'm going to copy them across into my other channels here, okay? So, how do I copy an insert or a send, you think? Alt and drag, excellent guys, brilliant. Alt and drag, okay, it saves me setting these up every time. So now if I put my vocal group back on and give this a listen, I'll just make my delays to now.
This is where my heart begins. Breaking love. Just waiting for
You can see that your sends are grouped as well. So if you don't want that, take your group off, set them. And then put your group back on so you still keep that shape.
This is where my heart begins. Breaking love. Just waiting for my head to stop. I can't find the words to find.
Okay, cool. So you may have noticed I've taken away the piano that's in this. As Mark beautifully pointed out last week. What was your exact words?
I've got notebooks.
I think it's a 4-letter word with P, rhyming with fish. If not, agreed. It's very compressed. As I said, it was one of the only things that remained from the original demo when we kind of started working on it. But it does have that classic kind of housey sound, but I've taken it out and it's created a lot more space. As we move forward, you'll be adding in your own ideas to this as well. Okay, so that is an effects bus or two. We've set up reverbs and delays, alright? However you want to learn those delays, everyone's similar, but they're all slightly different, as you'll know. You know, every delay unit's got a tap, it's got feedbacks, that kind of thing, but they'll always have their own little proprietary effects and functions in there. So just get to know them, get comfortable with them, and play a bit with them as well. Alright, cool. The width bus is much more straightforward. It's just one mono bus, and I'm going to pan it all the way to the left, and the track that I'm sending it from is going to be panned all the way to the right. So I'll go to this guitar lead channel. Let me take off my guitar bus here. So I've only got the guitar lead. Let's go in here and give it a listen. Okay, so it's quite a thin sound with a wee octave pedal on it, and it was a Strat, so single coil, and it was just a bit thin. So in the actual mix that I did for this, and this is what I done. Okay, I kept it out in the left, out in the right, but I panned it to the left as well via a bus, and then put loads of effects and thickeners on it just to EQ it differently, so that I got this nice holistic sound. And it won't be that prevalent on these speakers because how close they are, because we're all sitting, but hopefully tonally you'll hear a big difference. So pan this all the way to the right and create a mono auxiliary input. Okay, I'm going to bring this next to my guitar, and I'm going to call it lead width, something like that. Okay, it's fun to name your channels, you know, bass, bass, and all that sort of stuff. Untitled 1, 2, and sex noise and all that sort of stuff. Filth track 8. Alright, but these names are complete non sequiturs. They don't make any sense, and you will rarely be the full part of the chain, the recording, mixing and mastering engineer, so you'll be passing data about to other people. So it's very important that when you're naming things you do so logically. So lead width sounds pretty straightforward. Okay, so this is going all the way to the left, and I just created now a little mono bus, so I just activate this, A9. It's not a stereo, so it only gives me my mono channels now. And I'll call this, let me guess, width send.
Right.
Yep.
Does that mean you can't use 9 and 10 as a stereo sound then if you put that?
Aye, because then the 9th channel would go to the left channel of that stereo bus. So we've got something like 256 stereo buses to work with. So we're impressed and terrified if you run out of sends on this. But it does mean that 9 and 10 are now off limits for a stereo send, but 10 will still be available for another mono one. So I'm going to use that for my vocals in a wee second. Okay, width send, and I want to add this to my guitar group. So I go to my guitar group here, I right click on them, go to modify, find this width track, and then add it now to my group. And now up here it's got guitar, 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 so they're all solo together. Okay. Alrighty, so I'll go to send C in here. In case I want to send any of the guitar to the reverbs, I'll leave these two available. And find my width send. Go to view, expanded send, send C. I guess it's better if you've got a big massive screen, you can have all this in one thing, but just the resolution I'm using, I need to scroll down. Pre-fade. I'll bring it all the way up just till I can get a signal in. So let's give it a listen. Take my group off for now. Okay, so that should be all the way to the left, and that should go all the way to the right. Okay, so that's what we're playing with. Now on this left channel, I'm going to put a little delay on it just to play with the brain a little bit, create a bit of width. Now if I don't put delay on it, it just sounds equally like it's coming right down the middle. Okay. With a bit of delay on it, it's then going to create width, because I'm going to hear it here first, but perceive it in the left hand channel as well, and therefore I'm going to be very aware of my stereo image, and that's the width that I'm after. You can do this with guitars, you can do this with literally anything you want to create width, and it's really important. These are important considerations you have to make as professional engineers. How do I keep the track interesting? Where do I input longevity into this mix? How do people want to go back and listen to it every time? What is it that makes it sound special? It's wee things like this, okay, subtle little changes. Okay, so on my channel, I'll just go to delay, And I've got loads that I can use in here. Let's just go to Tape Echo. Kind of cool little thing, comes with Pro Tools 12. And I'm currently at 375 milliseconds, which is a noticeable delay. So if I hit play, you can still hear it in there. If I bring the mix all the way up, okay, so we're hearing that as a delay, clearly. If I bring this all the way down, I'm just going to do this without playing because it always sounds cool. Anyway, it interests me. Alright, and if I go into my I've never actually used this for this particular thing, so I'm not sure if I can go right down to my to get it under that echo threshold. But if I put sync on and go down, nah, it's not going to let me do it. So it's a cool wee unit, but let's just put it as down as slow as it will go. 70 milliseconds, see how that sounds. It's just too much of a delay because it's still just pushing out of time, and I'd need to increase the delay because that's as quick as it can be. And if I increase it anymore, it's going to be down. It's going to be that ping pong effect going on. So I need to be very mindful of that. There we go, 20 milliseconds. Yes. All right, let's try this. Okay, so no delay there. That's fusing with the direct sound, the original sound, and that's cool. But it's going to give me a little bit of width. Okay, so with that panned all the way to the left, and the other one panned all the way to the right, I can now start to play about with it and get some cool sounds. So. Okay, so I'm trying to take some of that harshness off of this as well, with that delayed channel, just to create another wee texture in there. Okay, I'm sitting behind the speakers. I don't want to make any huge changes here because I can't actually hear how they're sounding. Still sounding a wee bit thin, but you know, spend a bit more time with that. Tape saturation, whatever you want to put on it. Harmonic distortions, little textures. Okay, so put my guitar back on, my group. Then I've got control over all of these. So with your headphones on, that'll make a huge difference to that particular track. And even if you're listening to it in normal speakers that aren't positioned like this, that are in a normal listening position, or in CD in a car, anything like that, it's going to create lovely width. You're going to get a lot in the stereo image. And the last thing I'm very quickly going to show, and hopefully you can understand the process now, is on the main vocals I'm going to create a little thickener. So I'm going to create a mono bus, and I'm going to send a portion of the signal to that, and I'm going to put some distortion on it and blend it in. Okay, so create a new auxiliary input. I'm going to rattle through this now. Let's keep it here, and I'll call it vocal thick. Got my inputs, set up bus 10, rename it, call it vocal thick send. Got my vocal channel in here and send it now to that bus that I've created. Okay, pre-fade, alt and click takes it up. Now I can look at my vocal channels.
This is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to stop.
Okay, so let's go to town on it. Let's put a there it is. Saturation knob. We've got to keep high, and let's just start applying loads of distortion until we hear it really happening.
This is where my heart begins. Just waiting head to stop.
Okay, obviously don't want that in the front of my mix, we're going to blend it in.
When I know it from the start, let it break my heart, oh no. And this is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to stop. But I can't find the words to power. But I've known it from the start. Let it break my heart.
Okay, and then I'll just fire a wee compressor on this just to catch it as well.
This is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to stop.
Cool, alrighty.
But I can't find the words to.
Alright, so then I blend that in with my actual track till I get something that I like.
This is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to stop. But I can't find the words to call. But I know that from the start. Let it break my heart, oh no. And this is where my heart begins. Just waiting for my head to stop.
Okay, 4 buses, all of different types, all doing different jobs. Now, you'll obviously sit and spend the time getting to know the plugins that you're using, all that sort of stuff, but these are little tricks that are going to help you speed everything up. The question you always get asked is, how do you make it sound like that? How do you make it sound like that song on the radio? That sort of question. That's how, by utilising buses, effects, blending sounds together, not just having one vocal track that sounds dead thin, but maybe duplicating it a few times and blending them all together, all that sort of stuff. Is there anything I've done up there that you want me to run over again, or you have any questions about? Okay, so I've recorded this, so I'll upload it now, so it's there for you guys to watch when you need it. But I'd really like you to get back on me, doing what we did last week, and then moving on to this with the buses this week. Thanks guys.